Hey everybody, this is Danny. We'll be doing some ethical hacking and cybersecurity research via HackedBox. Today we'll be taking a look at Antique. It's a retired box. First we'll start off with some Nmap enumeration and Rust scan. The Rust scan is much quicker in identifying that port 161 is open in Telnet. Then we'll go ahead and spill the Telnet password and get a reverse shell. We'll exploit the RCE, get the Telnet password from the MIB via SNMP and decode the hex text to get the password and authenticate into Telnet. We're going to exploit CVE 2012-5519 to read the root files via couple privilege escalation. All right, and this is going to be the attack chain. So first, exploit SNMP and Telnet, which are the vulnerable services. Get rev shell and use chisel to proxy traffic. Then we'll exploit CVE 2012-5519 to get our privilege escalation. That said, let's go and get started. What we're going to do is I'm just going to click OK on that, scroll up, and get the IP address of our host. So the R host, that's our host IP address. We're going to open up a terminal from the location of the file that we're going to be working out of. For me, it's this antique file. So I'll just right click, open terminal here. We'll start from the top. So first thing we're going to do is open up a new tab, come to this tab here, type in ifconfig ton0. You can see that I have this IP address here assigned to me. So I'm just going to go and take this, come over here, rename it lhost. That's going to be my local host. All right, great, good. Come over here, change the color to blue so I know that's my lhost. Come over here, change this to rhost, which is the remote host for the Kelly box. I'm not the Kelly box for this box. So 10.10.11.07 and 11.07. All right, good. And we'll change that color to red. All right, cool. Select. All right, great. So next thing we're going to do is streamline this a little bit here. I have the commands listed out, but I'm going to start off with the Rust scan just to quickly identify any ports that are open. All right, and it looks like I'm running into an issue here. Just remove that. There we go. All right, so immediately we notice that Telnet is open. When we try to connect to it, we can't, so we need some type of credentials. What we're going to do instead now is do another port scan. This is going to be checking for the top UDP ports. All right, let's do it. All right, upon completion of this, and I'll just kind of fast track this one, but you should see that port 161 is open for SNMP. SNMP is a service that allows log forwarding, log collection, but also allows you to query hosts to see what their status is, and it's usually used by backend services. So there's an SNMP way of authenticating, and if it doesn't have strict security, you could authenticate with public. Since this is some type of printer service that's running, we can try to leverage this to gain some credentials and then authenticate via Telnet. All right. So knowing that what we know about SNMP, we're going to go ahead and rename this one UDP because that's UDP scan. Come over here, open up a new tab, and this right here is going to be our SNMP walk. So we're SNMP walking this IP address, and we just change this to that. And what this is going to do is it's going to check to see if we could find anything interesting. We can see that this host is called HTB printer. All right, so that's somewhat interesting. Upon researching, you'll see that SNMP walk is a program on Kali that allows you to enumerate SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol. And we're going to be connecting and then using this MIB query. So the MIB is the SNMP database, if you will. And so we're going to query that database and gather information. In this case, we are going to gather an IP address that kind of spills out when you query the MIB, the SNMP database. All right, so go ahead and run it. And you can see that it's built out this information in hex. So we'll go ahead and I'll move this over here. But we'll take this hex data and then we will open up burp. Once you have burp open, you want to go to decoder. So I'll just kind of redo this. And you want to put that text into decoder like I did here. So when you paste it in, you'll see that you have if you decode this as a ASCII hex, you'll see we can see some type of password here. If we go here and we click text, you can see it looks a little bit more clear. And we'll identify that the password for this is password 123 exclamation exclamation 123. So that's a password. Cut off the 139. That's not a part of it. So now that we know that, we have a telnet service, we can take this password and try to authenticate via telnet. So I'll rename this one SNMP. And then we'll go ahead and open up a new session here and rename this one telnet. So telnet. All right, cool. It's going to ask us for the password. Go ahead and put the password that we had. And you can see I actually getting an error because I need to remove the spaces there. So once you remove the spaces, then you should be able to authenticate. So here, come here. There you go. All right, cool. So what we can do now with this telnet session is we can execute commands. In this case, why don't we execute a reverse shell? So before we do that, we need to either start up netcat, or if you have rlwrap, I recommend you install it, rlwrap. Just typing that in, you should give you the option to install it. But rlwrap is a much better version of nmap. It uses nmap, just more stable shell. All right, cool. So I'm listening now. So I'll put this as my NC 443. That's where I'm listening. All right, cool. So then we come here and I'll take this command, just kind of zoom in for you. And I'll just kind of do this. So you can see that's the command there. And this command, what it's going to do is execute a Python reverse shell and connect to us from that server. Put it in here. Make sure you change the IP address of the connect right here. So you see that IP address right there. You got to change that and change the port if you want to change it from other than 443. Clicking that, you can see it hangs a little bit. That's a good sign we are connected. If I type out ls, you'll see that there's a user flag. You type that out, or cat it out. I won't do it here because that's against the rules. But now that we know that, we've got to find a way to privilege escalate. An easy way of doing this, I guess, would be to first, you've got to download Chisel. So we've got to identify a service here. So if we go here, open up a new tab, we can download Chisel like this. I already downloaded it, but once you download it, you can then run, I mean, I should just put the commands here. You can run this command here, and this will CD into the Chisel directory and run the Chisel and create the or build out Chisel. All right, so let's see, exit status. All right, so I got an error there. Let me see if this works. Sudo. I think because I already have Chisel installed on this Kali instance, it's not giving me any problems. But yeah, Chisel is installed. I don't know if it's by default because I don't remember installing Chisel on this Kali instance. But once you have that built out and you start it up, then you're running a Chisel server, right? But now Chisel requires that the client connect to the server. So we'll name this Chisel server. Yeah. All right, so next I'm going to open a new tab here. This is going to be where we're going to start up our Python server because we're going to need to host a file. All right, so here, host it. All right, cool. So this is our HTTP file service. Right. Next, we need to um, serve up Chisel. We can do that a few ways. You can locate Chisel, see if it's on your computer. I have quite a few versions of it here, but you want to make sure you have that binary. There's a binary right there. Just take that binary and copy it to this folder so you could simply sudo to this directory, copy it, right? I think that might work for you. Let me just do that real quick, see if that works. So sudo location of binary, actually CP location of binary. Hey, drop the binary here, right? That's what I'm telling it to do. You could try that or any other location, or you could get it from the internet. But once you have that binary, you have it in this folder. Right? Mine's right there. I renamed it Chisel because I have a folder called here Chisel. So I didn't want that to interfere. So going forward, you'll see I have Chisel with a double L. Well, it's actually one L. Um, but I just had an issue with actually having both of those in the same location. All right, cool. So now that we have, we can rename this one locate because that's how we locate stuff. All right, cool. So come over here, running Chisel, coming over here. We're running Chisel as a client, but we have to wget it. We have to like download it, right? So I need to like cd into temp ls. I don't have Chisel. Oh, I do have Chisel there. So I have to wget it if you didn't have it, which you shouldn't. You have to get it. So put in the L host IP address, which is the blue one, remember? All right, Chisel, the double L, and if yours just has one L, and okay, you did it right, right? So I already have it here, so it's not gonna work for me. All right, so let's see. What if it does something wrong here? Hold on. Chisel. Oh, whoa, okay. Just realized this is actually in the Chisel directory. Oh, dang it. All right, cool. So I just need to come here and specify it's in the Chisel directory. Where are you? Here we go. The cool thing about RWrap is that you can actually do the upward thing. So, all right, so Chisel. God dang. Let me figure where that's at. Where is it? So it's here. Oh, shoot. Uh, Antique. There's Chisel right there, but I'm not in that directory. So I need to come here, stop that Python server, cd back a directory, start the Python server. There we go. Now it should work. Delete that. All right, it's downloading. Cool, it's there. Chmod plus symbol X, chisel, double L. All right. Now that we have chisel with double L, I'm going to take this command here. What this is doing is it's saying use chisel's client to connect to the chisel server on that port. Take all the traffic, forward it to the local host currently on this attack box, this R host, and send that traffic to port 631 because there's a service running on 631. We could run linps to find out what services are running and found out that a cup C service is running on that port and we want to see what's going on there. So come here, run it, should work. Double check that IP address. Yep. All right. So you can see it's connected from this chisel from the R host to our chisel server on our Kali box. And what we're doing is we're creating this um, essentially using that as a proxy to get to the service that's running on our host. So now that we have that in play, we can actually open up Chrome and go to HTTP 127.631 and we can access the cups service, which is running on version 1.6.1, which if we just take that, because the first thing you do when you see stuff like this is you go and you say, hey, what exploits are available for this? So exploit for, and you can see we found some here. This right here is vulnerable to take a look at it. There's a Metasploit module for it. There's a rep, it's 7 that says root file read, meaning we could read root files. This module exploits a vulnerability in the CUPS 1.6.2, an open source printing system. CUPS allows members of the IP admin group to make changes to the CUPS D config configuration, which is simply an error log path. When the user visits the error log path in the web interface, the cupsd daemon running the sudo uid root reads the error log path and echoes it as plain text. Okay, so then we can read root files, essentially. All right, cool. So now that we're able to enumerate that, we'll come here and we no longer need this server running or this running. So we can just kind of stop that. Now, when you stop that, unfortunately, you're going to lose your shell. So you're going to have to start this back up again. Come back over here to Telnet, stop this. It's not going to work because Telnet kind of freezes up. So you're going to have to come over here and reinitiate it. So we're going to have to come over here and do another Telnet. So Telnet 2. All right, cool. Go ahead and re-authenticate over there. Come over here to Telnet 1. We'll just go ahead and remove this one. All right, we know the password, so we'll go ahead and take that password. All right, take that password, right? And copy it. All right, come over here to Telnet 2 session. Rerun the reverse shell. Okay, and then get our shell again. Here it is. All right, cool. So we have to cd into the temp directory again because we can't just drop exploits anywhere. And next, what we're going to do is open up another terminal here. And we're going to name this one a get because we're going to make a get request to get the exploit. So this is the get request we're going to make to clone it. And I already have that there, so I already actually have this folder. And then you're going to go to that get request location. Here's the exploit. We're going to copy that to our main folder here. Because I already have it there, but you would paste it there. All right, so now with that said, we can then come here to our NC session, get that file. And next we're going to have to chmod it. So chmod X, not capital X. All right. And we'll just come over here, grab this. So we don't have to type it in. All right, run it. And you can see the ls, we now have the file there and it's an executable. So we can now run this command here, and this command will use this exploit that can read root files to read the flag. Copy that in, come over here, and then paste it in. You can see it can read that flag. Now I don't want to do that because I can't do that, but you would enter this command, you'd see the root flag, and then you'd be good to go. Okay. So that's the breakdown. I know it was a lot. But that's how we learn, guys. That's how we learn. I mean, look how many terminal sessions we had open, how organized we stay throughout the process, where we know exactly what each one of these terminal sessions is doing. We get to the end goal very quickly. All right, hope you liked that video. More to come as I complete all the easy boxes and move on to the medium boxes. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to this video, as it supports me and helps the algorithm, helps get these videos out there. All right. If you enjoy this video, go ahead and post a comment. And thank you for watching. Danny out.